Jai Hind everyone, it's me Priyanshi Samant, and in today's video I have came up with a very important discussion that is about CAPF AC notification that was to be announced on 18th of February, but yesterday it came out. But that's fine. And today I'll be discussing very crisp things about it, because when you have to appear for the examination, you have to read the notification significantly, very intricately, because every single detail is going to make your career or lose your career. Okay, so there are 24 pages, but I know being an aspirant, it's so tough for you to manage time out to read such a long document. So I have decided why not to make a crisp video of 20 minutes in order to help other students like me. So I'll be starting with what is the exam for, and what are the institutions, or what are the forces you will be inducted into. Okay, so first of all, I'll be discussing about what is CAPF. So it is Central Armed Police Forces. It is paramilitary force. It includes various forces like BSF, CRPF, ITBP, SSB, CISF, and they will be recruiting AC, that is Assistant Commandant. Okay, that is officer in these forces, and for a Group A officer, and so these are the forces which came up with the vacancies, and the commission is UPSC who conducts the examination. There are three parts of the examination. First is your written stage, second is your physical examination, and third is your interview part. First of all, I'll be discussing what are the vacancies right now. So, in BSF, there are 108 vacancies. In CRPF, it is 106. In ITBP, it's 12 with the least vacancies. And SSB, 53. And CISF, most loved force, I don't know why, 70. And it totals to 349 vacancies. But should you look just vacancy for you, for your, I'll say, preference? Not actually, because there are many other factors. What are their job roles? What do they do actually? You have to, I think, intricately study about these forces before having your preferences on. And mujhe bhi, I have to study a lot about these before getting jumping into any of the conclusion. So the first part is very clear: what are the forces, and what are the vacancies, and what should be your what you should be thinking before putting your preferences 1 2 3. You should be studying about these forces before. Vacancy should not be only reason for that. And allocation, job allocation, it will be only on the basis of your merit. Like if you are getting merit in for BSF, you'll be allocated BSF. It doesn't matter it's your second or third preference. Okay, so your first preference, you are viable to first preference only when you are clearing the merit for that, for the same. Okay, now the second part, which is very important, is about your eligibility. Yeah, it's all about the examination you are appearing for. But now, what makes you eligible? There are two most important part when it comes to any of the examination. The very first is your age eligibility. Like, what are the age limits? So, like usually we say 20 to 25 years, but we have to be very precise when it comes to examination. So I'll be telling you those dates. So your DOB should in between 2nd August 2001 to 1st August 2006. Or there are some age relaxations as well, right? So for SC, ST, and OBC, and also for ex-servicemen, there are age relaxations. I'll be telling you about them now. So first of all, for SC and ST, the age relaxation is 5 years. That means till 30 years of age you can give the examination. And now coming to OBC, it is for 3 years. That is 28 years you can you are eligible to give the examination. Now coming to the ex-serviceman, it's 5 years again, the same as that of SC and ST. Now coming to the educational qualifications. So the minimum educational qualification is that you should be holding a graduation degree. And there is a lot of confusion among students that I am appearing, should I be giving it or not. So one thing is really written, being very clear in this notification, that yes, you can appear for the examination if you are in your that has not been clearly mentioned, but there has been one line that is, if you are not able to have that holding that degree right now, but until and unless you are clearing the first stage, that is the written stage, if you have cleared, you have to give the proof of your educational qualification in the second stage, that in the physical examination there has been written. So after all such candidates who, after qualifying on the result of the written part of the examination, are declared qualified by the commission for physical standards, physical efficiency test, will be required to produce proof of the passing of the requisite qualifying examination within the time limit prescribed by the rules of the examination. So I think this is now very clear that you have to you have to complete your degrees, be it provisional or be it final mark sheet or degree certificate, in your physical examination after clearing written part. So whoever confused that like मेरे पास तो डिग्री नहीं है जब रिटर्न हो रहा होगा 19th of July को, so that is not a thing. You have to have the degree when you are appearing for your physical examination. That comes after the now, after your education qualifications and your age eligibility, what comes important is your physical standard, which you can't change, right? So I'll be telling you the minimum requirement for the candidates. Coming to men, the minimum height should be 165 centimeter. I'm 164. Okay, so for men it's 165 and for women it is 157 centimeter. And the weight of men, minimum weight should be 50 kg, and women it is 46 kgs. And in medicals, I have seen a lot of cases where you were being medically unfit for armed forces, but here in CAPF, in paramilitary forces, you were eligible. So I think to all those who have been medically unfit for army, air force, or navy should also be looking into this, because taking this exam, if you are preparing for defense forces, is a very good thing. Especially, I'll be talking about women. When in CDS, you have to compete for those 392 vacancies in the written part itself. I think this provides general neutrality. There has been also mentioned in the notification that to encourage gender neutrality, this has been done, that equal opportunity to the women has been given. You have to compete among men, and that is, I think, the best part when it comes to CAPF. So I think to all the women who are appearing for either NDA or not NDA, I must not say that you're not clearing NDA, because NDA is undergrad entry, but for CDS, AFCAT, I think CAPF can be a very good option to take as. Like, I'm not saying it should be your backup option, because the examination is very tough in itself, as we all know. But yes, it's a very good opportunity for us all. Now I'll be coming to how to apply for the examination. So the very first thing is about, you have to apply using the website upsconline.nic.in. First thing. Second thing is about what is the fee. So for all the candidates except SC, ST, females, they are on the verge of exemption of the fee. But for other candidates except these all, 200 rupees is the fee. That is, I think, very less, and you should be applying for it without looking into 200 rupees. And secondly, you have to upload your uh, photograph, live photograph, signatures, your documents. But for me, candidates like me who have already been enrolled, or I'll say we have made our IDs in UPSC, we don't need to make it twice, because when you are appearing for CDS, the form of CAP will be very easy for you. You have to just upload your photo, signature three times with black pen, or you have to write signature one below the other. Okay, in such a way you have to upload the signature, photographs, live photo, and further all the documents. I think if you have applied for CDS or ND before, you must have your IDs, that is in the UPSC website. And now coming to the next part, that is what are the dates for applying. So the application can be filled between these two dates, that is 20th of February 2026 to 12th of March 2026 till 18 hours. And there has been clearly mentioned that you are advised to apply before. The reason being is there is one policy followed by UPSC, that first apply, first allot. So your center will be allotted on the basis of how much fast you are filling the form. पहले आओ पहले पाओ, that is the scheme. So to all the candidates, if you want to have your nearest center, so fill very quick, be very eager to fill the form. Okay, don't look for the very last date of 12th March. That was being about how to apply. Now I'll be coming into what is the examination pattern. Okay, so now coming into the selection procedure or the scheme. So the very first stage is the written stage itself. So the written stage will be conducted on 19th of July 2026, and that will comprise of two paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 is will be held from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and the paper second, that will be held from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, so that is very clear now. For the first paper, you will be allotted 2 hours, that is 10 to 12, and for the paper 2, that will be 2 to 5 p.m. Now coming to what is paper 1, what is paper 2. So paper 1 is about general ability and intelligence. It is of 250 marks. That will be your objective type of paper. Okay, so there will be multiple answers, and you will be given the questions both in English and Hindi. Okay, like similar to that of GS paper of CDS. Now coming to the next paper 2. So it is of 200 marks, and it is about studies, essay and comprehensions. In this paper you have to write in the answer sheet. So there will be precise writing, comprehension and other communication language skill, and uh, will be okay. So there has been one clear thing, a lot of students have this query that can we attempt the paper 2 in Hindi. So there has been clearly mentioned that in paper 2 the essay component can be written in English or Hindi, and apart from essay component, every other component like that of precise writing, comprehension and other language skill to be tested, they are written in English only. And that is about the written part. When you are clearing the written part, you will be appearing for the second part, that is about PET, physical efficiency test. And for this I'll be telling you there are three things. For women there are three things, for men there is one additional thing. So coming to what are the things required, so there is one, the first thing is 100-meter race. Men has to cover 100 meters in 16 seconds, and women has to complete 100 meters in 18 seconds. And for men to complete 800 meters, that is the second category of PET, you have to cover 800-meter race. For men the time is 3 minute 45 second, and for women it is 4 minute 45 second. Now coming to the third part, that is long jump. Long jump, there has been given the height of 3.5 meter. Sorry, not height but actually the length. Okay, so that is 3.5 meters for men, and the long jump for the women is of 3 meters, and both of them will be given 3 chances each in order to cover your long jump. Now coming to the fourth part, that I was saying that women are exempted from it, but men have to clear shot put, that is of 7.26 kg, and men have to cover 4.5 meters of length, and again 3 chances will be given to you. Now after clearing your PET, you will be eligible for the last and the final part of the examination. So like there are 3 stages, that's why it is not similar to that of CDS that occur 2 times. The cycle, sometimes in the cycle of CDS it coincides a lot, like आपने पहली की एसएसबी नहीं दी है, दूसरा का रिटर्न आ गया, but here the cycle is one, it will be taking one whole year to give all the examination and all. So I think it is a plus point of this examination. Now coming to the third part, that is interview part or the personality test. Okay, so all the candidates who are declared qualified in PET, so they will be called for the interview or personality test. Okay, and so that will be conducted by the commission itself. Candidate who are declared disqualified or unqualified in physical efficiency test, they will not be called. That is very basic thing. And what are the marks allocated for PET? So sorry, not PET, that's interview or the final part. It is 150 marks will be given for the interview phase. So now the final selection or the merit, it will be based on your first and third stage. Your second stage PET, physical efficiency test, that was only just for qualifications, that is the qualifying round. But your written marks plus your interview marks, these both will be added in order to give you a final merit. Okay, so the merit will be drawn on the basis of the mark obtained by the candidate in the written examination and your personality test. Very clear. So now coming to the final part of the video. So now I'll be discussing the syllabi of the written papers. I think I should be making a separate video for that, but I decided why not to include in this video only. So I have told you about paper 1, paper 2. So paper 1 is your objective paper. कौन से subjects आएंगे? English भी आएगी क्या CDS की तरह? So there is a clear no for that. Many of the people I have heard listening कि दोनों ही तो same है. No, English is the most vital part in CDS examination, but here you have to cover GS very अच्छे से. Okay, वहाँ पे क्या होता है in CDS, that if you have English as your strength, you will be clearing it very easily. But here, if your strength was English in CDS, you are clearing CDS consecutively. But here you have to make a very good command in GS. So in GS you have to study your general mental ability. Okay, that is the difference. So the question will be designed to test the logical reasoning, quantitative aptitude including numerical ability, and data interpretation. People who have appeared for AFCAT, they might be knowing what is this all about. So there will be questions that will be checking your reasoning ability, your numerical ability as well. Second part is your general science. Okay, to general awareness, scientific temper, comprehension, appreciation of scientific phenomena, environment, technology, information, biotechnology. So that will come under the scope of general science. Third is about current events and national and international importance. Okay, that is about current affairs. Very easy. Okay, no, current affairs isn't easy, but understanding this point is very easy. Now, the fourth point is about Indian polity and economy, and this is, I think, I must be saying, a very important part, because a lot of student I have seen in CDS that they don't study economy because the input output ratio is not that much. Like, economic question are going to come very less, and that too very easy. But here I have given the mock test and the economy was of very different level, and you can't skip economics here. Okay, you have to do Indian polity, and the second is your Indian economy. So the question shall aim to test candidate knowledge of country's political system and constitution of India, social system and public administration. Okay, that was being about polity. Now coming about economics, so economic development in India, regional and international security issues, and human rights including its indicators. Fifth is about history of India. You have to study the history as well. So uh, specifically here two areas have been given, that is growth of nationalism and freedom movement. So that comes under the history of India. Now coming to the last part of paper one, that is Indian and world geography. So you have to cover your geography as well. In crisp explanation for the syllabus of paper one, you have to complete your mental ability. That can be said as simple numerical ability, okay, or reasoning ability. Second is your general science. Third is your current affairs. Fourth is your Indian polity and economy. And fifth point is your history of India. And sixth is your Indian and world geography. Now coming to paper two, a lot of people study paper one but they skip paper two. So that is also important part here. That also carry 200 marks. So we have to prepare for that as well. So paper two contains part A and part B. Paper two is about general studies, essay and comprehension. Part A consists of essay questions which are to be answered in long narrative form, either in Hindi or English, totaling 80 marks. So essay के questions 80 marks के आएंगे. Clear? Now the indicative topics are modern Indian history, especially of the freedom struggle, geography, polity, and economy, knowledge of security and human rights issues, and analytical ability. So that was your part A, where we discussed about essays. Part B is about comprehension, practice writing, other communication languages skill to be attempted in English only. Marks have 120. So the topics are comprehension, passages, practice writing, developing counter arguments, simple grammar, and other aspect of language testing. Okay, that is very clear that in part A you will be, your essay writing will be tested, and essay can be written in both languages, Hindi, either Hindi or English, and it will constitute 80 marks of your examination. Whereas your part B, it will cover your other part other than essays, and it has to be answered in English only. So with this, syllabus is also covered, and I think I have discussed all the important part of the examination. The very first we have discussed about the eligibility. If you are eligible, then only you should be looking into it. But before even eligibility, what is the job roles and for what examination you are going to apply for, you should be knowing about it. And one very important point which I'm saying, that please don't put mark your preferences on the base of kahan pe vacancy zyada hai. That is a very silly thing you can do, because we are graduates and we have to think more rationally. Okay, because if we are going to make it as career, we have to think, we have to be very specific about it. And that was the first point. And second point is also clear eligibility, and then how to appear for the examination. You have to go to commission site. UPSC conduct is the conducting body. You have to fill the form from there only, from their website only. And apart from it, I have told you about fee and physical standards, and at the end also the syllabus, and what are the three stages of the examination. So with this, I think it becomes very clear for all those newcomers. Even this is going to be my very first attempt. So at the end of the video, a very very congratulations to you all, that you are aspiring for such a big dream. And also all the best to all the candidates, especially women, because when we don't have much hopes with CDS, I think this comes as a rescue for all of us. And all the best to all the candidates. You will be clearing this time. I hopefully wish that we'll be there in the uniform. And Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you for watching my video. Signing off, Priyanshi Samant.